Hi, I'm Dr. Sally Norton. Now, if you're anything like me or many of the women that I coach for weight loss, then you'll be finding every excuse under the sun not to go out and do some exercise, even though we all know that it's good for us for our health and for our weight. So I thought I'd share some of those excuses with you and tell you why I've had to accept that they're not valid excuses and I don't make them anymore. It might be helpful. So the first excuse, which is one of the common ones that I hear, is that, but I just know that it will take so much exercise, so much walking or running or whatever it might be to burn off the calories of just one muffin. So what's the point? I might as well not bother. And to some extent that's true, but it's really, really simplistic, just the calories in versus calories out. In fact, exercise has a lot more benefits than just burning off the calories that you've just eaten, and I'll tell you a bit more about those. So I'm afraid that excuse doesn't hold. The second excuse, and it's one that I try and make from time to time, is, it's just too cold or too miserable, or it's just horrible out there, I don't want to go out and do some exercise. But actually, science has shown that exercising in the cold is actually really good for us. It seems to be that it boosts the level of brown fat, which is a sort of fat that actually burns off calories rather than stores them. So it's difficult, but I actually actively try to get out and exercise when it's cold now because I think it's doing me a bit more good. And then, of course, as soon as we get going, we warm up anyway, and there's plenty of clothes, warm clothes, thermal, sports gear, all sorts of things that we can wrap up in. So actually, it's a pretty poor excuse. And if the weather is absolutely foul, we can always exercise indoors at the gym or even at home. So I'm afraid that excuse just doesn't hold water either. The third excuse, and it's one that I do hear from time to time, is that I'm just not fit enough. I've not done exercise for ages. I get too breathless. I just can't do it. And I do sympathise with that one, especially if people have got health problems alongside their weight issues. But actually, anything is better than nothing, and most of us can do something. Do you know that even just standing rather than sitting burns more calories and is better for our health? So, just stand up, that's the start, or walk for a minute at a time as long as you build up every day, every week that you're doing it. Start somewhere, because the more you do, starting small and building up, it will get easier and easier. And while you're working on the cardio, the sort of exercise that pushes your heart and your lungs, then we should all be working on building muscle anyway, and that's something that we can do fairly easily, even when we're just waiting for the kettle to boil. So building a little bit of muscle with resistance exercises actually helps us burn energy even when we're sitting still, and that's got to be a result. So that's another excuse that we can't use, I'm afraid. So that's 3 reasons that many of us give ourselves for not going out and being active. There are loads more. So watch out for some further videos when I'll tell you loads more excuses that I make and that many of us make for avoiding exercise. But actually, we need to be shelving those excuses and just getting out there and doing something. If you need any more help or advice, then please just get in touch with me via Facebook or my website, and I'll be happy to help.